Howdy, everybody. It's your pal Misty. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. I have a very fun live stream for you tonight, and I have some very special guests. And hopefully, I will have a few more special guests joining. I have a few people having connection issues out there, so you may have more people on the screen. But I'm going to just talk for a few moments and let y'all introduce yourselves just to give people time to join and start chatting. Hello, Mother. Thank you for being here. My mama is in the house. Hello, FitSquad, she says. So we will start it out tonight with our esteemed leader of the FitSquad, my coach. You know her and you love her, and if you don't, you probably should. And hopefully tonight you'll get introduced to her. Kirsten, go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourselves, your channel, whatever you'd like to share.
Thank you, Misty. I appreciate it. And you know what? We are all leaders in the Fit Squad. We are all leaders. We all help each other. We all are strong in certain areas. And so that's what I love about the Fit Squad. I learn from you guys. I mean, Misty, I learn from you every day. Cheryl, I learn from you and the other girls. And I am very grateful for that. So, hey, there's Deanna.
Sorry.
I'm grateful for our group because we learn from each other. I've been, just a little background, I've been in fitness for over 25 years, full-time, health coach, instructor, personal trainer, and I love it. It's my life. I love helping people achieve their goals, and I love community. For me, fitness has been all about community because that's where I see the real success, is when people team up and work together and achieve the successes together. And so I am blessed with these ladies that have joined the Fit Squad. And I love when we can get together and work out together. And it is a beautiful thing. So yes, thanks for having me, Misty.
Absolutely. It is certainly my pleasure. Yeah, this Saturday, we're all in our homes doing a workout. And she's like, I am so glad that y'all are here and showing so much dedication as she's vacationing at the beach. Let's talk about dedication to the cause. We appreciate you, Coach, in setting up this community for us to have. It really is important. Community is very important to me. Everybody knows that, especially y'all, because I message y'all daily to remind you in case you forget. But yeah, I appreciate you being here and giving us this opportunity. So Cheryl, go ahead. I know if you've been here before, you may know Cheryl. She's been on my channel a couple times, but for anyone who may be new, go ahead and tell them about yourself, Cheryl.
Thank you, Misty, for having me on. I'm very excited about tonight. I'm Cheryl, and I have a channel called Cheryl's Place. Thanks to Misty helping me get that kind of started all up. I started the channel to do Derek's Steps Challenge, and I was already in the middle of strong fitness and weight loss starting then. And then met this wonderful community of people, and Kirsten doing her videos and challenges. And last month was the first month I actually completed a whole challenge because either hurt my knee, something would happen where I would fizzle out. So weight loss is my journey. Also mental health, all health, being strong, and again, thank you, Misty, for having me on your channel.
Absolutely, Cheryl. You know, I'm a big fan. I'm so glad you started your channel. Sounds like maybe you've had a few obstacles to overcome. So maybe, you're a good person to have here on my chat this evening. I'm just saying, sometimes I'm a good picker. But I appreciate you being here, Cheryl. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Certainly, last but not least, Deanna, thank you for joining us this evening again. If you've been here any amount of time, you probably have seen Deanna on my channel. She's been here a number of times as well. But please introduce yourself and share what you'd like with the people today, Deanna.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Deanna, and I'm a troubled person. No. My dog's causing troubles.
We love
I'm Deanna. I'm on a weight loss journey. I've lost 50 pounds, and I've overcome a lot of obstacles, and I still have a lot of obstacles that I'm still working on trying to overcome. And the funny thing about obstacles is I don't think you're ever free of them. I think they will always be there. So we got to learn how to, just face them and be fearless and be resilient.
Absolutely. I think you are 100% on the nose with that one. Is, as with all things, you think out thinking it's going to be a temporary piece of time that you're doing something or working on something, and turns out it's pretty much for the rest of your life. So we will definitely get into discussions on that. Hello, Amanda. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Mama agrees. Yes. That's an emphatic agree with 2 exclamation points there. So you got mom's thumbs up. So for a lot of us that are here, and the reason that we in particular join the Fit Squad is because we are on health and weightness, health and wellness journeys, including weight loss, strength training. And Kirsten, that is why we come to you, but you are a coach who deal with people in these situations. So I'd like to have it from your perspective, sort of on the other view of what you see from people. And Cheryl, I'll start with you. When it comes to weight loss in particular, what has been your biggest obstacle that you have overcome so far, and how did you overcome it?
Well, that's a super good question. I guess there's a few, but the one I guess that I didn't struggle with when I was younger, it more manifest, I guess, as the older I got, binge eating. And that could be excitement, fear, stress, depression. I mean, it could be anything. It wouldn't be just one thing. Yeah, there's times that, you get bad news wherever you're not hungry. Or, those situations would happen, but now it's changed. It's binge eating. So I don't know, is it about 4 months now? I think it's close to 4 months. I haven't binge ate, so that's good. But I think I'm just trying, like, there was a couple days I even talked with Misty that one day that it was a strong craving, and I just kept walking to the kitchen. And I'm like, no, you're not hungry. You're not hungry. I would open the cupboard. I'd open do all those things. Go back up, get away, get out of the kitchen. I did that for 2.5 hours pretty much straight, but I didn't binge. And so I don't know, I guess it's more aware, trying to be more aware. Don't binge eat because it's not worth whatever's happening at this moment. The feeling or the urge will pass.
And I think that's very important to share. I think a lot of people do suffer with the binge eating. One thing that I would like for you to share is this last time you didn't do it. You wanted to. You obviously thought about it a couple of times. What made this time different, and how do you think that you can utilize that moving forward?
Because I didn't really, to be honest, sometimes I don't think I realized I was binge eating. I thought, I'm snacking. Half a bag, or you know what I mean? That's not snacking. That's binge eating. And then I'd immediately go on to maybe chocolate or, that type of thing. And then you would look at the day and you're like, wow, I ate a bunch of junk. But really, it was probably binge eating the whole day, and it wasn't. And then because this year I said, no matter what, I'm going to crush it. I need to change. I just, it's just, all the things that you think of. And I'm like, I'm going to not let that rule me. I'm in my almost mid 50s and I can't continue this way. So I think just the decision of this year, no matter what, even if it's just physical therapy I could do for that day, I'm still crushing it, because before I wouldn't do anything if I didn't feel good. I won't even do my physical therapy. So
you 100%.
I think because of the new year.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think there's a little lag. I didn't mean to talk over you there, Cheryl. You 100% are crushing it. And I think you're absolutely right. Being aware that you wanted to binge eat helped you not do that, because now you're thinking about future you. And I think that's a huge way that people can overcome an obstacle. And something that I have often utilized is, what will future Misty think about this decision? How will what I do today impact the future, right? So I think that's huge. I think that's great. And I think that's a good way to overcome that obstacle in weight loss. But it's also a good way to overcome a bunch of different obstacles, right?
Very true.
So Deanna, since we are starting with weight loss, I'd like for you to go next and share what do you think your biggest obstacle is, either that you've overcome or that you're still working through, or both. That's fine as well.
Me, myself, and I. Still working on it. It changes every day. Yeah, I really do feel like I am my biggest obstacle. My brain likes to throw up all kinds of, negative self-talk or laziness or procrastination or just all kinds of different things, and just navigating that landscape every single day, because every day that I wake up, it's a different thing. It's a different story that I'm telling myself. There's a different narrative running in my head, and just really relying on my healthy habits as like, these are just the things that I do. And now that, and I continue to work on them and make them just something that I do on autopilot, really helps me to not have to listen as much whenever that narrative is coming up in my head. So I'm working on it. I'm not, definitely, I don't know if or when it'll ever be like, it's not an obstacle, but I'm putting things in place that will help me to deal with it. I've noticed that is a true thing, that I deal with it less.
That's 100% my problem is me. I'm with you on that one. I get it. Hey Mary, thanks for joining. I'm gonna try to mute you for just a second because
I'm still trying to get things sorted out.
You're doing a good job.
Girl, I just got off of the boat and I wasn't this seasick. What are we doing here? Hello. Thanks for joining the live stream. I love you so much. Mary is overcoming the obstacle tonight. Okay. You set it up though for a second. We're just gonna.
Woohoo!
Welcome. Yes, all right,
hey y'all.
Thanks for joining, Mary. So, I think you were listening, so you heard most of that. But I was just chatting with Deanna about overcoming obstacles and her biggest obstacle with weight loss, and she said that it is herself, and I believe that is true. That makes a lot of sense, right? But I wanted to start with weight loss just because, like I said, that's why a lot of us joined Kirsten's group to begin with. So what do you think, Mary, is your biggest obstacle to weight loss?
Definitely myself. Definitely, yeah. I'm consistent with some things, but not consistent with everything. And so if you don't do it all together, it works a little, but then it quits working and then it doesn't work. And so, I'm just trying to get it together and do something every day.
And that sort of goes to what Deanna just said right before you joined, right? And I was going to circle back around to it. I'll go ahead and do that right now. She mentioned that it is an ever-changing process and that it is a daily process. And so I think you're sort of in the same realm of Deanna, where you are often your obstacle to the weight loss because of your consistency specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to do it, you need to do it, you should do it, and then you don't do it, right? But
right.
What are things that you are doing to help overcome that obstacle for weight loss?
Well, I'm doing a lot more than I did this time last year. My diet is not so bad. It's I think exercise is my thing. I do our little jump rope challenge in the morning, and I'm there for FitSquad every Saturday, and we walk on Sundays, but I don't always get something else done. So last week I started doing the 5-minute videos twice in the morning, and so I've been pretty consistent with that. So I'm just trying to get a habit. And so once I get it in my routine and a habit of working out in the morning also, I think that's going to be real beneficial. I mean, I'm definitely stronger than I was. And I think inside things are healing. it just, hasn't shown with any weight loss yet.
Right, and it won't always. That's sort of what we all learn as we go, right? But and we'll get more into the different hurdles with fitness as well and overcoming different things with that. But for weight loss, there are so many different aspects involved to it. Just like you said, it's not just food, it's not just exercise, it's all of those things, right? And so that's why I kind of wanted to talk about the different ways that we overcome the different obstacles. So Kirsten, for you, I know you haven't had to overcome the obstacle of weight loss, but you do have to maintain that weight. And like I said, you have seen it from the opposite perspective. And I'd just be curious to hear your take on that.
Well, the bottom line with anyone's journey is behavioral modification. It does not just come down to, I need to exercise, 5 times a week, 3 times a week. It's changing your behavior. You guys, it's deep. It's like, we got to get deep. It's body, mind, spirit. If you want to be successful, you have to dive deep. You have to find out your why. What is your why? And I would say, and this is why it's great to have a coach or a mentor or a trainer or a community, because if you have an obstacle, I ask a lot of questions. Why is that an obstacle? Why? Let's dive deep. Misty, you and I, we dive deep a lot. It's like, let's dive deep. Why is that an obstacle? It's about behavior. It's about what you're dealing with up here. It's about healing. It's why when we work out, we just burst out crying, because we are healing as we are working out physically. So yeah, it's diving deep. It's asking questions. It's finding out, like, why am I binge eating? Because a lot of times our mind is on this cycle, the same cycle, and we have to break that cycle. So if you get stressed or if you're upset about something, you know what? I'm going to go to the kitchen and I'm going to snack, which is really binge eating. But you can change that cycle by being in charge, by being dedicated to what you're doing, just like Cheryl said. So you're going to change that behavior and you're going to say, you know what? Instead of me going to snack, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to take a lap around my neighborhood. So you can change that behavior, but you have to be purposeful with it. So yeah, like for me, it's just like diving deep and finding out, like, how do we change that behavior and how do we do it in a positive way? And how do we stay positive and do it in a way in which we can achieve? Like, I'm not like setting my goals up here, because you know what? If I have obstacles and I'm setting my goals up here, yeah, I'm going to have obstacles. All right, let's lower that a little bit. Let's make our first goal here so my obstacles are less, like just being more realistic.
Yeah, and I think that's true for a lot of us who start this, is that we aren't realistic when we start. And so, of course, there's an obstacle. The goal is too high. Lower the bar. It's okay. It's your journey, as I have said many times. And to your point, diving deep has been one of the hardest parts for me. I know y'all have probably heard me say this. I don't like being vulnerable. I hate it. It is not my jam. I don't like it. I don't like y'all to know that I have problems. Did y'all know that? Probably, because I've told you now. But
Yeah.
I still don't like it. I still don't like it. And so one of the biggest obstacles for weight loss for me, and I've really been thinking about it, is still that self-identification of the other person, because I was that person for so long. And I say that person because it was a different person. I'm not that person anymore. To your point and to Deanna's points, I don't have those habits anymore. I have changed my, what'd you say, Deanna, your autopilot, I think, right? I've changed my autopilot. Now my autopilot makes healthier decisions. But for me, one of the biggest obstacles has been overcoming identifying as being someone who is overweight, and that's all that I'll ever be. And even though I'm not that anymore, I still find myself thinking of myself as big, referring to myself as big, not understanding the space that I take up. And that's been it's still an obstacle. I haven't overcome it. But things that I do to help overcome it are just what we talked about. Stop, don't quit, right? You do it every day, and making the decision every day that it is okay to lose weight. I've been trying to maintain weight because I got scared of losing it again because I started losing so much and I'm so small and I don't know this person and I want to overcome that. I want to, well, maybe if we have time, we'll talk about fear later. See if y'all got any pro tips. But yeah, just to be really honest, like that's my biggest hurdle and obstacle still is that self-identification of the person that I was instead of the person that I know that I am. Not only the person that I know that I am, but the person that I can be. I can be even a better person than I am today, tomorrow. Right? So why not try?
Misty, keep
Yeah.
looking ahead. Do not look back, right?
Yeah.
Keep looking ahead because you are not that person. You're not that person anymore. You have evolved. You have evolved and we are going forward. So a lot of times we get stuck. We get stuck in the past. We get stuck looking backwards, you know, and we have to train our minds. I'm not that person anymore. I mean, I know, like, and we talk about the time, like on YouTube, these old like videos of Misty will come up and I'm like, who is that? I don't know who that person is. You're not that person anymore. You have evolved, you have changed, you have modified your behavior, you have changed your moving forward. And so a lot of times we talk about mindset. Mindset is everything. This controls this. Mindset is everything. Mindset, I'm looking forward. I am not that person anymore. Right? I'm a new person.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I try to do is I try to think forward, not backwards. I try to stay as much in the present as I possibly can, but you know, I try to forward think and not backwards think. And that is a way that helps overcome that identification, but also mental correction whenever I say it and things like that also help. So I see a few quick chats that I want to call out. Will, hello, my friend Will. Will and I are a little red in the face today because we were out on the Gulf of Mexico catching some fish. Well, he was catching fish. I was reeling, a lot of reeling. I did a lot of it. It was fun. Thanks, Will, for that and inviting me. Hello, thank you for joining the live stream. I haven't seen you in the Discord either in a while. You should stop by there again and say hi to us. So thank you for that. And one thing that I wanted to talk about to move on to the next sort of topic is, again, Kirsten, we're here for you with fitness. I'd like to know and for y'all to talk about what was your biggest obstacle to, because let's be honest, for the four of us, me included, right? The three of y'all, we didn't start. We just didn't start. So I want to know what your biggest obstacle was to starting and how you have overcome that. And if you've had to do it more than once, even, what changed to make you start again? Because I know that's happened to a lot of us. We go up and down, right? So Cheryl, I'd like to start with you again, if that's okay.
All right. In the past, you know, my weight would yo-yo and I would make a little effort, but and then I think I just gave up or something somewhere along the way. And then was it 2019? I don't know. Misty might remember, but when I found out my health issues with my back and stuff, because I wasn't feeling great, I'm like, you know, it would hurt to pull my pants up. Well, that shouldn't hurt my back. That's, you know, kind of, so that's when I went in and found out some things. And so then I'm like, oh, I need to make some changes here because it was some, it was my liver and something else. And they said, I got bad test results. And so they're like, you need to lose weight. And so that's when I started the bad news, and then found out about my back. So when I found that out and I changed how I ate, and then I was getting physical therapy, then I'm like, oh, so I started moving, doing physical therapy, and I'm like, yeah, I got to do some stuff. So then Misty's page popped up, and I'm like, clicked her on, and then it's like, well, I'm already kind of doing keto, and maybe I could do some of these other things. So then that's just how it just progressed to where, okay, it was health issues, but all that stuff got cleared except for, the back stuff. But so all that, I changed all that. And so I'm like, okay. And then I was feeling better. And then there was a scare, and it bothered me. And slowly I stopped exercising and not eating right. And then I was doing the binge eating until the beginning of this year. And that's when I got back up. And this is the more serious I think I feel, is because I think, yes, I still have mental health issue days. I do have depression, but in my mind, I see a goal. And yes, there's going to be bumps, but I see a goal where I would like to be. And it doesn't have to be a set amount of time. And because I felt better when I got down to 210. And I was thinking, oh, wait, in 2 months, I'll probably be in Wonderland. Well, whatever. We went the opposite way. So we're just coming back down. And so I think it's just because I mentally am on board with my checklist. Maybe they're not, they'll keep changing as time goes on, the checklist, but I'm hitting all my checklists every day. So
No,
I think it's mostly my mindset.
Yeah, and having a plan is definitely important and can help you overcome an obstacle. So at first, it sounds like with fitness related, it wasn't so much an obstacle, just we weren't doing that.
Yeah. No,
And
yeah, I
then
wasn't doing
because of actual physical things that prevented you from doing some of the fitness, but you still did other things and were able to progress to a certain level. Like you said, you did revert back, but you are aware that it's fitness at any level now, right?
Yeah.
And so now that you've overcome that obstacle and you got your brain back in it, did you find it easier to start the fitness this time?
Yeah, fitness wasn't even a thought. It just, I knew it was going to do some form in every day of it.
Right. And I think that's important for people to know, is some people are intimidated about starting again or what people will think and things like that. And just think that it's important and that you should do it and start it again. Right. So that's really good. I'm glad that you were able to do that, Cheryl. All right, Deanna, when it came to starting fitness for you, what would you say was the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome?
I don't know. So as far as fitness in general, there was no real obstacle at all, because I liked walking and I liked dancing. So there are certain forms of fitness that I did like and I did enjoy, and it was pretty easy for me to make them part of my regular routine. But bridging the gap over to strength training was hard for me because I had no idea what to do. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have, any knowledge about it. And going to the gym is just a huge obstacle. Like, driving there, paying for it, the people, like there's just hundreds of things that I could write down. But doing it in the comfort of my own home, as soon as that was like an option, and doing, 5 minutes a day, just starting with 5 minutes a day, like changed the whole world. Like, okay, I can do 5 minutes, and look at me, I'm doing 5 minutes, and oh wow, and this is easy. And now I can do 10 and 30 in an hour. Like, it was just game changing. And why I didn't know that was ever an option before is beyond me. Like, but I just
that you don't have to go for a full 1 hour workout your first time. Right? No, I mean, you're certainly not the only person who thinks that. I think that is an absolute obstacle for people. They go in for a 30-minute workout. And well, like you said, at least you were doing some type of physical fitness. I don't know how much of that you were doing before you started your weight loss journey, but it was easy for you to transition into something fitness, and you learn that strength is important. At least we all believe that here. We all believe that strength training is important. But yeah, I think that's great. We'll I don't want to. I don't want to talk and re-talk about what y'all just said. So, because I could agree with you all day long about so many things. All right, Mary. When it comes to fitness, what would you say was your biggest obstacle you had to overcome?
Telling myself I was too big to do any of that. I watched y'all on YouTube do all these exercises and thinking I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and I never did do it. And then I joined Derek's Journey Steps Challenge, and then you started the Discord, and we started talking on the Discord, and you said, my friends never walk. And I said, I'll walk with you. And we started walking. And then you talked about, the FitSquad, and I finally joined that. And you said, I knew you were ready. I didn't know I was ready, but you knew I was ready. And it's just gone from there. And I love being active. I was an athlete as a young person, and I know how important it is. But when you don't push yourself to even start, then nothing's ever going to happen. And so, I hope to not ever quit. It's just going to get better and better.
Absolutely, but I think for a lot of us, me included, so one of the reasons that I had trouble starting fitness was because I'm heavy. Who do they think I am? I can't do a push-up. But what I didn't know at the time was I didn't ever have to do a regular push-up. There are provisions for that. But I also thought I was too big. I'm too big to do any of those things that you're doing. Why would you think I would even be interested in that, right? And so that was one of my biggest obstacles to getting started was I'm fat, I'm uncoordinated, I've not done these things. It's not that I'm not athletic. I mean, I was a dancer for 13 years. I played sports, but there are just so many things that I never did because they were fitness. And even as a young person, I felt too fat, too out of shape to be able to do those things. And the way that I was able to overcome that was one, a little bit of peer pressure, friendly peer pressure. I'm not saying that's what I did to you there, Mary. Maybe.
Yeah, hello.
A little bit. But it's because I love you and I want you to do well for yourself, right? But
and I'm glad you pushed me.
Yeah, and I'm glad. But Carolyn and Nikki pushed me to start a challenge. And then they had me do Gavin's challenge, and then boy, I was off to the races, right? So I actually had someone give me that little push in a community. And then I ran with it from there and learned that I was thinking about it all wrong. I don't need to do a push-up. I need to do whatever version of a push-up I can do. And for me, that was laying on my back and just pushing my arms up in the air. So it's a struggle for a lot of us. So Kirsten, Coach, I just keep wanting to call you Coach because I see you here, but hey, Coach, I'd like for you to say, from your perspective, what have you seen in fitness? What do people come to you as the biggest obstacles? In what ways have you given them or tips to overcome that?
Well, everyone's so different. But I would say physical fitness is something that we need to incorporate in our lives. Every single one of us, if you are a living human being on the face of the earth, you need physical fitness every day. Like if you don't, you're going to have medical issues. So you either do it or you don't. If you don't brush your teeth every day, what's going to happen? Your teeth are going to rot. So and I don't mean to be like, doomsday, whatever, but if you do not work your body will fall apart. So we have got to take care of this body. It's all we have in this life. Okay. So you need to take care of it. What do you like to do? Let's start there. What do you like to do? Deanna said, I like to dance and I like to walk. That's a great place to start. Let's start there. Okay. Let's do something every single day, at least 30 minutes a day. If you only have 5 minutes, give me 5 minutes. Figure out So I will go through with my clients and be like, let's plan it out. Like, how much time do you have? What do you like to do? Now, and then we start there. And then we go into, I would like to incorporate, strength training in there. So it's little baby steps. We heard from Mary, right? Little baby steps. She started here, started with Derek's step challenge, then started here, then started here. It's baby steps. Okay. It's not like, I'm not going to eat a whole elephant at once, right? We're going to eat it little bits at a time. So we want to accomplish little bits at a time. And community. I mean, Misty, do you see the common denominator here? Like all, your friends are all like, you guys are all together and you're all going through this together. And it's a community thing and it's love and support and it's kindness and it's achieving goals. And we're all different, but we all kind of have a same common denominator, right? We want to be as physically fit as we can. And there's a way to do it.
There is a safe and healthy way to do it too, at any level. And that's the thing that I've learned from not only you, but just a bunch of the fitness coaches out there is it is fitness at any level. And,
Misty, and I do want to say, like, fitness on YouTube, a lot of times it's like, how crazy can we make it? Can we do like burpees until we throw up? Or can I do like 30-minute burpees without stopping? Like, sometimes fitness on YouTube can be overpowering or kind of like, I don't really want that. And it doesn't have to be that. And you girls, you do what you can. If I'm not going to do a push-up on the ground, I'll do it on the wall or I'll do it on an elevated object, or I will figure out how I'm going to do it my way. Because you know what? You're in charge. You're in charge. It's your body. How can you get it done your way?
Because it needs to be done.
Yes.
It needs to be done. Yeah. I think it's interesting that a lot of us started out, I'm just saying, with the shorter workouts. Just like you said, Deanna started with the shorter ones. That's what made it click for her. Mary did. I mean, Gavin's, I really started with Gavin's, but it was 10-minute workouts. So it's not like it was, an extreme workout. I didn't work up to hour-long boot camps with you for a year.
Yeah.
That's what I think sometimes people, they think of Misty as being really fit and really strong. Yeah, 2 years into it, I'm pretty fit and pretty strong for where I am now. And today I learned even more tips on jumping rope. Like, I'm still learning things as we go. You missed that chat we had earlier, Mary. But so, yeah. Fitness has been for me a game changer. And the biggest obstacle for me was thinking that I was, again, that self-identification of a big, fat, lazy person. And big, fat, lazy people don't work out. Stupid is in there too. Sometimes. Most of the time, stupid, lazy person. But we're working on that. And we're overcoming that. And we don't identify as her anymore sometimes, but we're working on it.
Misty, do you put a picture of like one of these new pictures you have of yourself? Do you have one like on your mirror that you can look at every day?
A picture of myself in my mirror where I look at myself?
Yes, like a new picture. Like, remember that picture that you have of like this, like a new picture of you that you have on your mirror that you can look at every day. So you can relate. Like every time you look in that mirror, you're like, oh, there's me.
The picture looks so much different than the mirror. It's weird, but she's right.
Huh. Interesting.
So like a newer picture of yourself, Misty, just because it helps remind you who you are today. So your mind doesn't keep going back to yesterday. Pictures speak 1,000 words. Pictures are really helpful.
Yeah, and I often think I look wildly different when I see the photo. Like someone will take a picture of me and I will look at the photo, and on more than one occasion I have laughed out loud because I'm like, that looks ridiculous. But it doesn't look, just because but it's because I realize I'm ridiculous. I'm self-identifying as someone in something that I'm no longer.
It's hard.
It is hard. I know. That's why we're here talking about ways to make it.
Day by day, little steps.
I know.
Pictures help.
I know.
Pictures help, Misty.
I need. I don't have a photo of my. I mean, I have one on my camera. I don't have one of just me though. I don't think. I don't know. We'll work on that, Coach. We'll work on it.
Maybe
We'll take one Sunday.
I'll send one to you.
Well, I mean, but I got you'll send it to me. I mean, I can figure it out. I can print out a picture. Mary, work on that with me.
Yeah. We'll take care of that.
Print.
Sometimes having a community is having people hold you accountable and responsible for making sure that you get things done.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was my biggest one with fitness, and I've just overcoming it by doing it anyway, and just changing the mindset by proving to myself that I am not a big, fat, lazy, stupid person. I'm just not. Shocker to me, but I'm just not that person. No matter how many times my brain has tried to tell me that. So, speaking of crazy things our brains try to tell us, I know for most of us, and several of you have mentioned it, which is why I say that a big hurdle that we have to overcome is our mental health. And so I would like for each of you to share something that helps you or has helped you in your mental health as you go through your journey or expedition. I call it an expedition, but whatever you'd like to call it. And Cheryl, as always, I'm going to start with you again. What steps do you take to help with your mental health?
Well, there has been times where my mental health, I was very depressed, and I could tell there's something. So I went in and I was on some antidepressants. That was a long, long time ago. And then I didn't take them anymore. And then that scare with Rick, I did again for a while. Maybe that was like 6 months. But so I did use some antidepressants when there was sometimes that was needed. But daily, I take each day as it comes right now for my mental health. And so some days I maybe do a little more meditating or breathing exercises if I need those. Other days I don't need to focus on, have a clear day. And so each day right now is just different. What do I need? I have a sun lamp right now because it's the middle of winter and we hardly get any sun. So for me right now, it's just daily, what do I need? And hopefully I can get that so the day goes as smooth as possible. And then I think with my mental health, fitness helps with my mental health because it keeps me busy. Sometimes maybe I do have the TV on, but I'm walking around the house doing one of those steps challenges, but my mind goes somewhere else. And then I work out problems or something maybe running on my mind, like you're not worth it today. It could be anything. And while I'm doing my fitness, I'm thinking. And by the time I'm done with my exercise, I've already worked out everything. Well, sometimes I've worked out everything that was bothering me at that time. So it's fitness also with my mental health.
That's great. So making it a daily choice, not getting bogged down in what might have happened yesterday, but making it a daily choice to think about your mental health and stay on top of it. And one of the ways that's helped you do that is fitness. I think that's amazing. And it's obviously working. You haven't binge ate in almost 4 months.
Yeah.
You're back to doing the workouts that you can do. You still have some physical issues that you're working through, but you're still showing up much more often than you're not, right? And I think that's great. And I'm glad to hear that those things are working and that your mental health is in a better place and continuing to improve. That makes me very happy. Deanna, what about you?
I don't know that I can talk about that today.
Uh-oh. Are we all going to cry?
We might.
Okay, let's do it. Let's cry. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
I got tissue right here.
Ooh.
You think I'm teasing? I'm ready. I wasn't
I
sure.
don't have any. Darn it.
Okay.
So really, like the biggest thing that I do is I get up and I do everything anyway. So I've got my, my things that I have to do, that I would choose to do, that I want to do, that I like to do, that I enjoy to do. I have to fix those words because I hate when they come out like I have to do them, because it's not I have to. It's that I like to do them. So if I get out of bed and I get those things done, and if I get my, my morning walk in nature, and I get my strength training done, and I get, my journaling done and everything, then I'm ahead of the game for the day, and I'm already feeling better. But right now it's life is not easy for me right now. It's I've got lots of different challenges and different aspects, but as long as I get out of bed and I start doing the things, it's easier to keep up with that momentum for the day. But if I were to stay in bed and not do those things, then it's just going to snowball into something else. So it's just automatic. I get out of that bed. I'm never going to stay in the bed. And that's just step number one. Just get out of the bed. And sometimes, for different people, it's going to look different. At one point in time, I know it was, I had to get out of the bed. And then, I was able to get out of the bed and go for a walk. And then, I could build upon that. But sometimes it just starts with just get out of the bed, So everybody's different. And I think that just helps me out a lot with my mental health, is just moving.
Well, yeah, moving, and it's part of your daily routine, right? You have a certain way that you like to get your day started. It works well for you. You've spent a lot of time working on these habits, getting the ones that work the best for you. And with all people, I think when our schedule is upset or something topsy-turvy for us, right, it kind of can throw us off for the day. And then there have been a bunch of days where not only did I not want to get out of the bed, but there have been days where I was afraid to go to sleep, that I might not wake up the next day, just because things were so bad and I was so unhealthy. And I think it's very important that you've overcome that through healthy habits. And even though you may not want to get out of the bed, we do the thing anyway. Get out of the bed. Because there were days where I didn't want to get out of the bed after my dad died recently. I didn't want to get out of the bed. I didn't want to talk to nobody, look at nobody, have nobody look at me, but I wanted to work out. Right? So it was like my brain had this balance of, I want to be really sad and depressed and alone all by myself and a big, fat, lazy, stupid person about it. I'm not that person. Dang it. Let me just get up and go I did boot camp from the hotel because I needed it. I'm sort of like you, Deanna. I'm to a point now where it has become an obstacle that I have overcome so effectively, that sometimes the obstacle is when that gets messed up, or, something interferes with my habits. How do I overcome that? Right? So like, I was in a good place. I had a lot of good, healthy habits, and then my dad died, and it kind of threw me for a loop. And it was harder to keep all of those good, healthy habits. It wasn't as easy, but knowing that I needed to do it anyway helped me overcome that. So I think that's very big. And I'm sorry that you're having a rough time right now. I love you. All right, Mary. Biggest obstacle for your mental health?
I think moving, I'm just like everybody else. The more I move, the better I feel. Like at work, if it's,
don't you feel crazy saying it? Crazy.
I try to make myself get up every hour at work, because I just stare at a computer all day, messing with spreadsheets. And when I forget that 1 hour, I'm just like, or if I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out whatever it is at work, if I get up and make a lap around the office, it clears my head. If I'm having whatever issues after work and I'm taking my evening walk or my Saturday morning walk, I'm talking to God the whole time. I'm trying to work things out, tell him what's going on, giving it to him, whatever you want to say. But the movement is the key for me.
Yeah, and I think that's true for a lot of people. Well, Kirsten, I'll let you go next, and then I'll answer. And you can answer this from a personal perspective too. I mean, we all have mental health things that we deal with, but just whatever you'd like to share on that topic.
It is medically proven that physical fitness really helps with your mental health. It just really does. Hormonally, in so many ways. You will be better off, less anxiety, less depression, less all these bad negative things if you are physically active, because that's how our body is meant to move. When we move, good things happen. I know when I'm in a bad place and I work out afterwards, I'm like, peace out. I am good. Like, I am so good, and I've joked about this before, but like, if I'm like grumpy grumps around the house, like my husband's like, do you need to go out? Do you need to go work out? And I'm like, yes, I do. And I come back and I'm like,
You mention it.
I'm like a new person. So it totally helps. And Deanna said something about snowballing. So when you make a decision, you are in charge of yourself. Every decision you make, you are in charge of, and you are going to ream the benefits or the deficits of that decision, right? And so just you getting out of bed to do a physical activity is fantastic, because it will snowball. So if you decide, you know what, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to stay in bed. So then what happens the rest of the day, right? So one good decision will affect the rest of your day. So it's so important. And that's when it comes down to discipline. And Misty, you and I have always talked about, sometimes we're not motivated to do it, but we are disciplined to do it. And we're going to do it because we know it's the best thing for us. And one good decision leads to another good decision, leads to another good decision. Whereas one bad decision leads to another bad decision, leads to another bad decision. So which way do you want to go? Do you want to go up or you want to go down? You're in charge, right?
It's so simple, right? Now you just got to do it. And that is, oh man, that's the hardest part. It's the hardest part. Like, the mental health for me is the biggest part. I am my own biggest stumbling block. I am my own biggest bully. I am 100% my own biggest hurdle is my mental
Misty,
health.
you have to say, do it anyway.
I do.
So here's the thing. You have a plan, right? You have to plan it out. What are we all doing tomorrow? Maybe before we leave tonight, we will say, this is what we're doing tomorrow. But you have a plan and you just do it. You get out of bed and you're like, you know what? I don't feel like it, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. That's discipline. And that's what's going to take you. That's what's going to change behavior. That's behavior modification. Your discipline to take you to where you haven't been before, because we're going to stick to what we have planned. This is our plan. This is my goal. We're going to get there. We're going to get there one day at a time.
Right.
I always tell myself, you have to do 5 minutes. If 5 minutes, if you don't want to do it, fine. But once you get that 5 minutes in, it's pretty easy to go for longer.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, look, that went by.
Yes.
Before you know it. But it's just that getting started thing. It's like, just go do it.
Just do it.
Because a lot of the times we put up that obstacle, we put up that wall, and that's why I wanted to talk about all the ways that we overcome those, right? So yeah, I do feel all of those ways, and that's the truth, and I want to be really honest about it, but that is how I overcome it. I overcome it by working on my mental, my physical, and my spiritual alignment. I have to be in balance. in order to be the happiest, healthiest version of myself. And if one of those goes out of alignment, it throws the whole thing off for me personally. And so, like Mary said, going for walks. I used to go for walks every Sunday because that was sort of my own time alone, and I still get that time. I do a daily devotional every morning as part of my morning routine. I do workouts as part of my morning routine. I do these things daily. It's every day. You start, you don't stop. And every day you make the decision that, you know what? We're going to just do it again today. Why not? Just get up out of the bed, do a workout, do your devotional, walk the dogs, not necessarily in that order, right? And then get to work or enjoy your weekend, right? But it is doing those things every day consistently so that when you have that obstacle shoved in your face, you can go, haha, I'm just going to just skirt right around you because I've learned all of these tips and tricks and techniques that all of you have shared today that have worked for you. But as we have always said, it is what works for you that you have to find. And that can sometimes be the hardest thing. So I appreciate you all being here. I do just really quickly,
I said time flies.
Time flies. Oh, well, good. I'm glad it didn't feel very long. I appreciate that. But when it comes to fear, because I think it's not something that just I have to overcome, right? I am curious. What is something that you have been afraid of that you have overcome? Cheryl, start with you.
I guess saying yes. I was always saying no to everything, and lots of reasons. Maybe I don't know if everyone's going to be there. I don't know. It could be, a slew of reasons why I would say no. So I started saying yes to more things, and then I think the more you say yes, the more wonderful things you're going to find out in the world, and so that's what I'm doing right now. Saying yes to more things than no.
That's good.
That is absolutely wonderful. That's great. And I am trying to do that, Cheryl. So I'm glad that works. Because I'll be honest, and Will's probably still here. When he first asked me, I was like, I could tell him I have to do FitSquad. And then I wouldn't have to go. Because he was like FitSquad. And then I was like, Misty, just say yes. You know you want to meet him. You know you want to do new things. You know you like fishing. You know you like boats. Just because you haven't done them together, you'll probably like it. You like both, right? But it is about saying yes. I think that's great, Cheryl. That's wonderful. I appreciate you saying that. And I'm going to continue to work on saying yes more myself. Deanna, what about you? What is a fear of something? Just in general, you can do whatever tip you want to give.
I don't know. I'm going to flip it and say, let's say no. I was afraid of saying no.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair because
I'm a yes person. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good. Go with the, what's easy and not confrontation.
Yeah. You don't want to muddy the water or make waves, or we'll just toe the line. I'll get right in line behind you and we're going to do that. That is hard to step outside of. I know it is. I tried to do that myself. You get stuck there sometimes. So, but you're working on it and you're overcoming it. We're all works in progress. That's what we've said, right? Mary, how about you?
I guess a fear of change. I don't know if it's really change or if it's, pushing myself to change, I guess is what it is. It's so easy to just sit back and go, oh, I'll work on that tomorrow. I'll work on that tomorrow. But since I've been in this group, I push myself more to change. And I'll sit in the chair and say, oh, I don't want to walk today. And then in the back of my head, my brain's telling me, just get up and do it. Just do it. And so I think, I don't know if that's considered change or what you would consider that, but pushing myself to do more, maybe.
I think that's great. I mean, you are changing. You are changing your lifestyle to be something different, and I think that's really big and can be very scary because change can be very scary. I'm scared of change. I still identified it, like that. It's scary to change. You've lived and believed one thing your whole life, or for a large portion of it at least. You get stuck in that, and it's hard to change and break out of that. Kirsten, what about you? What is something that you have overcome?
Well, I just want to say you ladies are blowing me away and you are doing a fantastic job. You all should be so proud of yourselves. You guys are making changes every single day that really make a difference to where you want to be. So kudos to you guys. Keep it going every single day. And it's not easy. It's not easy changing behavior, changing habits, changing bad habits to good habits. Not easy, but you guys are doing it. You're killing it. And you are an inspiration to everyone who knows you. Everyone in your circle, believe it or not, is watching you. And you are having an effect, a ripple effect on everyone who is in your life. So you keep it going. You do not know what kind of impact you're having on someone, but they're watching you. So keep going. I'm so proud of each of you. And me being in the physical fitness profession, it's like, you know what? I kind of have to push myself too. Like, even like every day, like when, some days are hard, I'm teaching twice a day, I'm recording stuff, I'm doing challenges. How do I push myself though? Because, I'm promoting you guys to push yourself. I'm promoting you guys to challenge yourself. So I better be doing the same for me. And so for me, it's running.
I know, that's why I asked you the question. I was waiting for you to say it. You're running, coach. Look at you
I'm
running.
running. And I don't love to run. I don't. I mean, I love it afterwards. I'm like, yeah, I'm like Rocky. Dun-dun-dun. But during it, like even this morning, I woke up and I'm like, oh, I could sleep in, or I could get up and run. Dang it, I'm going to get up and run. I just got up and ran. And so it's like, yes, I need to constantly be challenging myself because you know what? It makes me feel good. And after I ran, I was like, yes, it's so empowering. And it gives you so much power for the day. And that may sound so trivial. It's like, really? Like a run? Yes. Yes. Something as trivial as that. Something as trivial as doing a challenge. Yeah, I did 6 minutes of jump rope today. Yes. Sweet. I did it. I'm set for the day. One little thing you do for yourself, one positive thing you do for yourself really empowers you for the day. It truly does. Truly.
Daily, small, little steps. There you go, everybody. That's pretty much what it boils down to, is what we've all said. Watching our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health, for those of us who, want to keep that in alignment, and not being afraid to say yes or say no as needed, right? Setting boundaries that we've talked about before, which we didn't cover as much tonight. They're all huge and important ways to overcome obstacles. So I appreciate all of you being here, providing your insight. For those of you in the chat, thank you for being here. I didn't get to say hi to everyone. But hello to Felicia, Janine. I saw y'all joining in, and Will. We're always happy to have you here. My mom made a call out that tomorrow's Mardi Gras, so happy Mardi Gras for everybody. If you are going to celebrate that, big old fat Tuesday tomorrow. So I'll be working, but it's fun. It is not a state holiday in Texas, although we'd like for it to be. But that's going to do it for this evening. I appreciate each and every one of you, both on screen and in the chat, being here and spending time with us tonight. Those of you who watch the replay, I appreciate you being here as well. It has been a pleasure being part of this group. Kirsten, again, I'm so glad that you put it together. Deanna and I, we're the OGs. We've been in it for the long haul. We're ride or dies, and then Cheryl and Mary, we we got them on board and we're just trucking along. We had so many people on the screen the other day. It was just amazing. So I appreciate y'all being here and sharing all of the ways that you've overcome obstacles, because you've all done such a great job. And Kirsten, thank you for supporting us through that and giving us ways and always challenging us to ask those whys, taking those little steps, reassessing, looking at it, looking at ourselves again and seeing how to move forward. So we appreciate that. Any final thoughts from anyone?
I would just say, love yourself. Love yourself where you are today. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Speak nice to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Show yourself grace, because you know what? It's hard. It's hard, and accept that and just do the best that you can. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Okay, I'm just going to go and just replay that little piece. I feel like she's telling me that in chat all the time too, so it's fine. I know I'm really hard on myself. We'll talk about that too. But thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Next week, if you're interested, I would like to do a community live stream again. So if you lovely ladies on the screen would like to join, or anyone in the chat would like to join me next Monday at 6 p.m., it is always a pleasure. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe if you know how, and comment down below what has been the biggest obstacle that you've overcome and how did you overcome it. And until next time, I'll see you real soon. Good night, everybody. Happy